Welcome back to The Rundown. Well, last week, the Biden administration nominated law professor James Cavallaro to serve on the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. That's a watchdog group that is monitoring rights in Central and South America. But now the White House has withdrawn his candidacy after it emerged that Cavallaro on Twitter had accused Israel of being a, quote, apartheid state, and just last December tweeted that the House of Representatives Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries was, quote, bought, purchased, controlled by the pro-Israel lobby, AIPAC, and other groups. So joining us now for more is our senior U.S. correspondent, Mike Wagenheim in New York. And Mike, somebody at the White House did not, it appears, did not do their proper vetting here.
It's not the first time either, by the way, Calev. And yes, State Department spokesman Ned Price said that the White House and State Department were not previously aware of those tweets. Meanwhile, Cavallaro started to delete them as a Jewish newspaper began to inquire about his positions on pro-Israel and Palestinian issues. He later came out and said he was simply being proactive as he was responding to White House concerns. By the way, he just didn't criticize Israeli policy vis-a-vis the Palestinians, but also was quite critical of American policy, which would be more relevant to the position, I would imagine, since they deal with Western Hemisphere issues. He insulted a couple of U.S. senators, bipartisan insults, one to Joe Manchin, a Democrat, another to Republican Susan Collins, both personal in nature. And also when it came to Collins, he said that she should, quote unquote, learn from the Palestinian people. Cavallaro, meanwhile, sent out a tweet in reaction to the withdrawal of his nomination. We'll put it up on screen. He said, the withdrawal of my appointment comes on the heels of the Kennedy School withdrawal of a fellowship offered to Ken Roth due to his advocacy of human rights in Israel-Palestine. That decision has since been reversed, as we've noted before. Censorship of human rights advocates who denounce apartheid in Israel also affects countless Palestinian academics, activists, and students who do not have the platform that Ken Roth or I do. So Ken Roth was successful in getting his withdrawal of his appointment at Harvard overturned. Maybe Cavallaro is trying to do the same at this point. It should be noted, though, Calev, just a couple months ago, the White House had to withdraw another nomination of a human rights activist, Sarah Margon, who was nominated for a human rights position within the State Department, Assistant Secretary of State. The Senate leader in the Foreign Affairs Committee, Jim Risch of Idaho, refused to advance her nomination out of the committee due to what he said was her support of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. Her appointment withered for about a year and a half before being withdrawn in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I'm just going to add, Mike, I find it highly unlikely that choosing Ken Roth at Harvard as an example and hoping perhaps that public pressure would overturn it is not going to play in Washington, D.C. and at the White House in a similar fashion. So I suggest Professor Cavallaro is either going to return to academia, stay in academia, or perhaps join Human Rights Watch or some other organization such as that. Mike Wagenheim there it's his career choice. Mike Wagenheim in New York, thank you for that.